Poland is embroiled in a controversy over ritual slaughter, that is, killing animals according to Muslim or Jewish tradition without pre-stunning. Last year, a court ruled on a technicality that it should be illegal. Last month, Parliament, to widespread surprise, rejected a bill to allow the practice. But perhaps the bigger problem is that halal and kosher slaughter for export was, until this year, big business in Poland. Gulliver Cragg and Maya Szymanowska report now. We should, however, warn you, there are pictures of an animal being killed at the beginning of this report.
These Polish Tatar Muslims run a rural centre for homeless people. They were keen to demonstrate for us the halal method of slaughtering livestock. It's their Egyptian friend Barry El Terry who has the skills.
Dobra. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, halal, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar.
The Tatars all say they love their animals and aim to minimize their suffering.
When I do it, I have a different prayer. I just tell the animal it's hard to say goodbye.
In a prayer, there is no aggression, is there? Whereas pre-stunning is done aggressively. I'm sure animals, if they could choose, would choose the halal way.
The meat is served at a barbecue to mark the end of Ramadan, accompanied by a Quranic verse that pleads for religious tolerance.
You have your religion and I have mine.
For now, we can still have halal meat if it's for our own internal purposes. But that may change if the law is not clarified.
Dorota Wieland of the animal rights organisation Jus Animalia wants to see the ban enforced without exceptions. She says the international scientific consensus is that animals suffer more if they are not stunned before slaughter.
If you cause pain and suffering to another being, to another animal, this is where you have to stop, no matter what your religion is.
Banning kosher slaughter, or shryta, is a particularly sensitive issue in Poland, which lost some 3 million Jews to the Nazis in World War II. The chief rabbi even threatened to resign, despite being a vegetarian himself.
If you don't want to cause pain to animals, don't eat meat. And if you eat meat, then you should understand that both shryta and pre-stunning have the same goal, to minimize the pain to the animal.
The largest group of those adversely affected by Poland's ban on ritual slaughter are neither Jews nor Muslims, but workers in the meat industry. In recent years, abattoirs like this one had forged strong links with clients in the Middle East and elsewhere, and Poland had become one of Europe's largest exporters of halal and kosher meat.
Ritual slaughter accounted for about 30% of Poland's beef exports and 10% of poultry. We earned more than 180 million euros last year from the Turkish market alone.
Sławomir Rydzewski is incensed at what he calls the government's own goal.
They're throwing money away. These Muslims come here and say, listen, you've got a budget deficit, here's loads of money. And we say we don't want it. I can't imagine a more stupid government.
Yet surveys show 2/3 of Poles support the ban. Though the Prime Minister was in favour of repealing it, 38 ruling party MPs rebelled.
We have to choose between our sensitivities, ethical or moral, and money. And that is hard.
Cattle farmers say the decision is above all hard on them. It was the higher prices paid by halal slaughterhouses that made Grzegorz Skaros's operation viable, he says.
If the situation doesn't change, we'll have to give up producing cattle. I understand there's been a petition to the Constitutional Court, but whether or not there will be a positive response to that, I do not know.
The Constitutional Court's verdict may decide not only how these cattle are slaughtered, but whether Poland continues to produce beef at all.